Hello, this is Mary, and this video is about the first co-creative thought transformation presented in my book Heart Journey, and also in my free introductory video, Heart Journey, a how-to manual for co-creative manifestation. If you have not seen the introductory video, I suggest you view it first. It will give you an overview of what I seek to accomplish by authoring these videos and also provide context for the co-creative thought transformations I will be presenting. You can find the introductory video on my website at www.maryjuno.com or on my Mary Juno YouTube channel. Heart Journey has 3 very different sections that all come together in a program for attracting and manifesting while also promoting spiritual growth. In Part 1 of Heart Journey, I present the technique for initiating a request to manifest what you want in your life. In Part 2 of Heart Journey, I tell you how to participate in the manifestation process by establishing a co-creative partnership with a higher power. There are 4 elements necessary for attracting what you wish to manifest, and I list them. In Part 3 of Heart Journey, the focus is on spiritual growth and opening your heart, which magnifies the ability to attract, receive, and manifest. You were introduced to Part 1, 2, and 3 of Heart Journey in the introductory video. In this video, I will present the first of 12 co-creative thought transformations. Each of the co-creative thought transformations assists you in attracting and manifesting what you want in your life. Each thought transformation is presented in 2 parts. First, I will give you the old common thought, which impedes your ability to attract and manifest. Then I will present the corresponding co-creative thought, which will transform the way you feel, think, and act. If you would like to incorporate the co-creative thought transformations into your spiritual practice, you need only keep the co-creative thought in mind as you go about your daily routine for 1 month's time. There is nothing to write down or study. Simply endeavor to think and act with the co-creative thought in mind. Transmutation is the process that transforms an old limiting thought into a new co-creative thought. Transmutation occurs whenever you take something lower and transform it into something higher. For example, whenever you create something better out of the frustration of dealing with the status quo, that is transmutation. A metaphor for the process is the attempt by alchemists throughout the ages to transform lead into gold. When transmutation occurs within the spiritual context, it can be called spiritual alchemy, and it leads to enlightened co-creative ways of thinking, feeling, and acting. The newly transformed thought assists you in the process of manifestation while also opening your heart and supporting your co-creative partnership with the higher power of your choice. The old ways of thinking and also feeling and behaving are not suitable for Heart Journey or for attracting and manifesting. They impede and thwart your heart opening and spiritual growth. They can foster negative emotions and misguided behaviors. At their worst, they support your right to feel jealous, angry, fearful, and many other forms of negativity, all of which are inconsistent with open heart and lovingness. They also justify actions that undermine the co-creative partnership. The 12 limiting thoughts are traps, and if they are not recognized and transformed into their enlightened counterpart, they will foster resistance that blocks spiritual development, open-hearted lovingness, and manifestation. In most cases, you will be letting go of lower thought patterns you do not need or want, and embracing corresponding higher spiritual thoughts that provide insight into your heart opening and enhancements to the process of manifestation. Some of the 12 thought transformations may seem easy for you. Some will be more difficult. They are arranged in the order from the easiest to the most challenging. Slight individual differences might apply, but it is best to start with the first one and take them in the order presented. Work with one co-creative thought transformation at a time and for 1 month, keeping it foremost in your mind and counteracting negativity. Place cues in your home and work environment along with your Sacred Heart contract or request as reminders of the transformation you are seeking to make. At the end of the month, move on to the next co-creative thought. You are not expected to master any of the co-creative thought transformations in such a short time. These transformations are like lifelong callings. There are layers and layers of spiritual insight and growth innate to each new co-creative thought pattern. In the beginning, awareness in and of itself is considered progress, a step in the right direction. The first old thought pattern you need to turn into co-creative goal is the do-it-yourself fantasy. Or you have to earn it, do it, and go get it yourself. This process is straight cause and effect thinking. If you do the work, you get the results in keeping with your efforts and skills. And this is the only way that things will be accomplished. This do-it-yourself, self-will manifestation program requires a step-by-step plan and a prioritized to-do list. Once you formulate your plan, you write up your list, roll up your sleeves, and work hard to get the results. But straight cause and effect reality is not the only process available. It is the active mode for manifestation. But manifestation does not have to be solely active. There are also passive, attractive, and receptive means and modes for manifesting that you can learn, practice, and master. Manifestation does not necessarily involve a long to-do list that you push your way through item by item. You can manifest through the process of attraction and receptivity, sharing the load and responsibility with your co-creative partner. Instead of doing everything yourself to manifest what you want in your life, communicate with your co-creative partner. Then discover and develop your ability to attract and receive. This is a seldom used and little known muscle we all have located within the heart. When you open your heart to greater love for yourself and others, you open your heart to receiving and increasing your ability to attract. The first co-creative thought transformation involves letting go of the fantasy of having to plan, do, and control every step of the manifestation process. The new co-creative thought transformation is learning to attract and opening to receive. Here is a simple formula for you to remember regarding manifestation. Desire fuels attraction. The emotion associated with your desire is magnetic, drawing dynamic creative energy into form, resulting in manifestation. Opening your heart fosters receptivity and increases your ability to receive in whatever manner manifestation will occur. Attraction, receptivity, and manifestation all occur under the law of attraction. Desire fuels attraction. Heart openness fosters receptivity. Attraction paired with a receptive open heart enables manifestation. Working directly with a higher power results in spiritual development under the principle of involution and evolution. As you are learning to attract, energy is moving into form. Energy follows thought, your request, or your Sacred Heart contract. This is the downward movement that enables manifestation and can be thought of as involution. Since you are working closely with your co-creative partner on the process of manifestation, insights and wisdom will arise. This new information leads to evolution in consciousness. It all works together as a coordinated whole and spiritual path. Desire fosters attraction. Opening your heart fosters receptivity. Working with your co-creative partner leads to spiritual development. The combination of all three processes fosters abundance in one of its many forms. What you need and/or desire can come to you in accordance with your highest good and the highest good of all involved. Here are some clues on how to begin to work with the first co-creative thought transformation. First, ask for something simple, like insight into where you misplaced an important document or item. Another request might be for progress with a difficult endeavor or a peaceful exchange with someone who is normally adversarial. Some people routinely ask for a parking space. If you are self-employed, you might ask for business or a new client. It is best to keep the request small when you are just starting out or if you do not have a Sacred Heart contract that you are working on with your co-creative partner. Second, allow for some quiet reflection or meditation. This strengthens your communication with your co-creative partner. Third, be grateful for any insight or response, even if it is not exactly what you expected. Many times, it is a step in the right direction, and it helps you to clarify your request. It is appropriate to say, "Thank you very much, but now I see that I need to reword or renegotiate my request." Remember, making a request is a learning process. Acknowledge the response you got, no matter how small, and then reaffirm or redefine your request. Fourth, expect and look for subtle clues and responses. Do not expect earth-shattering responses and results, even though they sometimes occur. You are opening up to communication with your co-creative partner. Responses are normally symbolic, providing subtle guidance and insight. Consider only helpful and loving communications. And lastly, be patient. The ability to communicate with your co-creative partner while attracting and manifesting does not occur overnight. Remain open and receptive. Lower any resistance or fears associated with manifestation. Here is an example of resisting the process of attracting and manifesting. I wanted an abundance hotai, a laughing Buddha statue that represents wealth, wisdom, and happiness. He holds a gold ingot over his head and has a huge belly. You rub his goal for abundance, you rub his head for wisdom, and you rub his belly for happiness. I never made a direct request for this statue, but I do remember looking for one for over a year and not finding exactly what I wanted. I knew I was waiting for the right statue. One day I was driving through Ellicott City near my Maryland home when the thought voice spoke. "There's a hotai at the Antique Depot." You would think by now that I would not question the voice, but I replied, "They don't have hotais at the Antique Depot. They have antiques." The thought voice spoke. "There's a hotai at the Antique Depot." I continued in disbelief, saying, "They have small individual antique kiosks there. None of them are Asian." The matter-of-fact voice spoke again. "There's a hotai at the Antique Depot." This was the third time, a significant number for me. What patience my co-creative partner must have with me. The Antique Depot is 4 floors of individual kiosks. I had not been there in a year or two. I searched all 4 floors and was in the second to the last kiosk where the most beautiful hotai I had ever seen was for sale. He was 17 inches tall with a large gold ingot, hand-painted in full color. Not only was he inexpensive, but a friend and a houseguest had just given me enough money as a thank you gift to purchase him. He did not cost me a thing. I cannot tell you how happy this Hotai makes me. I smile and laugh every day when I look at him, and he is a reminder of the love and caring available to everyone. Expand your abilities into the passive mode for manifestation by discovering and developing this attractive and receptive spiritual muscle. It lies within an open heart. You can receive by allowing rather than doing. In some situations, reception is not only more effective than action, it is the only process that will work. For example, you cannot force someone to love you. A loving relationship is attracted by being loving and by being open to receiving love. An open heart is the key. As part of your heart journey, temper your aggressive approach to manifesting while learning to attract and receive through an open heart. This is known as the delicate art of skillful navigation. This process involves patience, especially in the beginning. You have to give the etheric intention for material manifestation time to emerge into form. You cannot predict in advance the timing needed for manifestation to move from energy into matter. Formation may happen in an instant, or it may take a long time, depending on how big or involved your request and your starting distance from the goal. This is why it is good to start out small and simple, so you have the possibility of experiencing attraction and can start to understand the process. You have to be like the gentle midwife, never forcing a birth, but staying attentive and guiding the baby into this world. Once you develop your passive, attractive, and receptive abilities, abundance will flow to and through you as long as you remain open-hearted. The more pure love you pour out, the more abundance you give to others, the more magnetic and attractive you become. You can begin to channel love and abundance in all of its various forms. Continue in this manner, staying open when you would close, receiving when you would refuse, and giving when you would deny. At the end of the month, move on to the second co-creative thought transformation, the Even-Steven reward system, which will also be in video format. Do not be concerned if you have not mastered the first co-creative thought transformation, learning to attract and opening to receive. Remember, these thought transformations are lifelong lessons that build on each other. Keep moving. After working your way through all 12 over a year's time, you can repeat the cycle of awareness, gaining further insight and wisdom. Progress with one transformation supports progress with others, as all 12 are interrelated. Each round will awaken your heart further and deepen your experience and skill in attracting and manifesting. Look for the second co-creative thought transformation on my YouTube channel or on maryjuno.com. To receive notices of each new video, subscribe to my YouTube channel or to the Mary Juno newsletter. For more information about Heart Journey and co-creative manifestation, go to maryjuno.com. There you will find a study guide, sample chapter, and videos. Heart Journey, the book, is available in paper and digital format. And the greatest amount of information and spiritual depth is only found in the book. My videos can only introduce you to a topic. The book can be purchased online, at Amazon, or through your local bookstore. I wish you all the best with your first co-creative thought transformation. I hope you have an abundant and insightful month. Goodbye.